We're going to go back out to Detroit right now. Roch Kubatko is standing by with us. And Roch, give us the latest on the roster moves. We know there's got to be a few.
Of course. It's funny when you play 13 innings in 5 hours and 19 minutes. That does lead to a few roster moves. We figured definitely one and probably two. And eventually they did announce that second one earlier. Stephon Crichton, he's back again. He was recalled from Norfolk, and catcher Francisco Pena designated for assignment, the move we anticipated. They weren't going to carry 3 catches for very long, and he's out of options. They'd love to keep him in the organization. The tricky part, of course, he'd have to clear waivers and accept an outright assignment because he's already outrighted once in February. And then when we thought, is that really it? No, Miguel Castro was recalled from Bowie. We kind of forgot to check the Bay Sox pitching staff. We were so focused on Norfolk. So he's up, and Donnie Hart, a little bit of a surprise option to Norfolk where he's never pitched. Remember, he made that jump from Bowie to the majors last year. It's all about having fresh arms. In Castro's case, they're curious what they've got. I mean, he was at extended spring training after they got him from the Rockies for the old player to be named later, or Cash, in early April. And he's only pitched once in Bowie, in relief, 4 innings, 1 run. Good arm, fastball, slider. They want to take a look at him, so it is a fresh arm. So that's the primary thing. There's a little more at work here, too, though, with Donnie Hart. He has been scuffling. You know, he had the 12 scoreless appearances in April, and in May it's 6 runs over 6 innings. And I think what's really alarming is left-handers are hitting .308 against him. Remember, they were 5 for 38 against him last year, so he's got to get that right. So they're going to send him down, and as Buck said, hey, if he pitches well, he'll be back up. There's lots of evidence about guys who jump on that shuttle and come back, but it's still a little bit surprising because we just assumed Hart would be a guy they'd kind of have him work through the problems. Richard Blyer now the only lefty in the bullpen with Zach Britton on the disabled list.
Roch, can the Orioles continue this on a regular basis, this Norfolk shuttle?
They're trying. I'm sure they'd like to even things out, level it out a little bit. I think the count was 10 guys that they had brought up, and now it's 11 with Castro. But it's a handy device. They need a starter or somebody to give them lanes from the right side. Hey, let's bring up Alec Asher. Left side, you've got Blyer. You've got Jason Aquino. Paul Fry had a cup of coffee and was sent back down. They've used this thing so many times. Crichton is now up for the 4th time. And it's funny, he's lost count. He mentioned, I think it's 3 now, and I said, no. I'm pretty sure it's 4, because remember that time that you were called up and then you were sent down the very next day you were brought back up because Zach Britton went on the DL, never left the team, just kind of a paper move, and he goes, oh yeah, I guess that counts. Yes, it does, Stephon Crichton, who should be right now driving the shuttle instead of riding it. It's kind of like owning your own ice cream truck. I think that's how it is for Crichton right now with that shuttle. But again, the Orioles, they love the maneuverability, having optionable guys, but ideally you'd like for the starters to go deeper in games so you don't have to keep doing this and then losing guys for that minimum 10 days if they're not replacing an injured player. They've been in a bind with guys who weren't available to come back, or guys who got sent down to Norfolk, made a start, and suddenly like a Mike Wright last night, Tyler Wilson before that, Chris Lee, Jason Aquino, who then weren't available because they'd already pitched for the Tides.
Now, Roch, how about the situation with Jonathan Scope last night? He left the game supposedly with some cramps in his legs. Give us an update on him.
Yeah, he's fine. He's back in the lineup. We watched him work out before batting practice. He was running some sprints in the outfield and going side to side while assistant athletic trainer Brian Ebel would roll him ground balls just to test the hamstring, and he's fine. But he had it heavily wrapped last night, that right leg, because it just started cramping up, which is a little bit odd because, remember, Pena had that issue with his right thumb earlier where it cramped and it ran the whole way down his arm. And Scope said it's probably the same thing. He was just dehydrated. He drank a lot of water today. He should be okay. But kids, let that be a lesson. Always hydrate, especially when it gets warmer. Eat a lot of bananas for potassium, I guess. But these guys are starting to cramp up. He said he drank a lot of fluids. He should be fine. Scope's taken a bit of a beating. I mean, these were just cramps. But remember, he leads the team. He's been hit by pitches 5 times this year. Missed a couple games when he got hit on the hand and ended his consecutive game streak at 190. He said he's closer to the plate. Guys might be trying to knock him off the plate, and he refuses to move. So he's been a little bit of a target. Now, of course, he ends up with the cramping in the leg, but right now he's fine. He's in the lineup, but hopefully he'll be chugging liquids all night in the dugout.
Roch, one little final thing. How about your summation of last night's 5-hour, 19-minute marathon?
Yeah, how much fun that was? That was great. You know, it's like my old Baltimore Sun newspaper days. I kept trying to write the game story, and I was getting ready to send it, and then I'd have to change it. Trumbull hits the home run, and then they go up by 3, and you think it's safe. I completely rewrite it. Donnie Hart gives up the 3 runs. You blow that one up, and you keep updating the old entry. documentary. We've seen some crazy things in this season alone. How many things did we talk about? Triple play and the Yankee pitcher playing first base and coming back and all the nonsense in Boston and everything else. So we may as well see a game like this that a lot of baseball historians are saying has never happened in baseball before, the things that you saw in that game. And we were just privileged to be here, and I got to walk back alone to my hotel at like 1:30 in the morning here in downtown Detroit, and I made it.
Roch, thanks a lot as always. Great information. Roch Kubatko from MASNsports.com, School of Rock. Check him out. He's got great Orioles information. Just a reminder to